If you are a 90s kid or you grew up with some great retro games, you possibly have a weakness for modern retro-inspired games. There are not many titles that are not only retro-inspired but also look retro, and that's where we have our beloved indie game industry, where we can find a lot of great gems. I love games like this, and I always say it in my videos. Every time a great old school indie game is coming out, I get excited. There are a lot of classics you probably already know or have seen somewhere, but today I try to select some well-known as well as fairly new or less popular releases that you may fall in love with. There are some more that I would like to cover and show you, but I'd like to stick to a short format, so if this video does well, then I'll make another one showcasing even more great titles. This list is highly subjective, so you may disagree with the placement of some entries, but that's okay. We all have our own tastes, and it's amazing that we can share them. I would love to see what your favorite games are, so leave me a comment and say something about them. If you like what I'm doing, consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel to stay up to date with great indie games and new releases. If you want to support my work, you can become a channel member and help me grow my channel even further. Now, let's jump to the list. I think you will like this one. Now, what is this game about? This is your classic retro arcade shooter where we pilot the Megacopter and battle Reptoid forces in the air and on the ground. The Megacopter is a machine with huge guns and an even bigger appetite for destruction. The more enemies we destroy, the more powerful we become. We'll play a variety of mission types, including seek and destroy, rescue missions, boss hunts, and even more. The action takes place across 4 different biomes, created with beautiful pixel art and enhanced with an original retro soundtrack. Halls of Torment is something that you just must try. In this experience we are able to choose from many characters and jump into the Halls of Torment to fight terrifying monsters. As we level up, we are able to choose new traits that strengthen our character. We can also gather equipment and stack up on blessings that will help us on our journey. There is a lot to do in this game, a lot of upgrades to use, achievements to collect and unlocks to gather. The most important trait for me is the graphical style. It is so good and so nostalgic, it brings back so many memories. It is a good game, and is also very much like Vampire Survivor, so give it a try. Curse of Demon 2 brings classic 2D action and a dark 8-bit aesthetic together with modern playability. In this game we take control of Zangetsu, a swordsman from the Far East who doesn't like demons that much. Equipped with a whip and sword, we will slash through hordes of demons in a demonic stronghold to get to the alchemists who summoned them. But our journey is not lonely. We will ally ourselves with a cast of new characters we meet along the way and play as them. Each character adds a variety of gameplay options, abilities and ways to complete the stages. We can also play in co-op mode and face the demons with a friend. You will love this game if you enjoyed the good old Castlevania, and with its amazing old school NES style graphics, you will love it even more. Dying Breed is a unique but classical approach to Golden Age RTS titles. This one takes players back to the first generation of real-time strategy games. It uses retro-styled pixel art and original action thriller soundtrack. In this game you will journey through a post-apocalyptic world where you must build your base, collect resources, assemble your army and fight fearsome enemies. Your decisions matter. Carefully choose your units, plan moves, and execute strategies to avoid swift defeat. Use various units and launch assaults by air, land, or water. Explore the world, discover new maps, battle wild enemies, and unlock powerful weapons and abilities. Dying Breed is really challenging and will test your skills, keeping you on the edge of your seat. It's one of my favorites on this list, and I'm genuinely excited about it. It is not released yet, so keep an eye on this game and add it to your wishlist. Songs of Conquest is a turn-based strategy game inspired by 90s classics. So if you want to try a game that feels like Heroes or Disciples, this is the one. It's a very classic adventure where you build your empire, create an army, conquer, gather, explore, loot and repeat. You can, of course, play with your friends if you desire. Now let's talk about graphics. This is one of the most beautiful pixel art styles I've ever seen. If you look at the map, you can see the details and the uniqueness of each location. The battle grid is also very distinct for each location and it's well made. The animations are great and the units looks amazing. It's hard to describe how good this game is. You need to see this and feel how it plays. I highly recommend this one, it's a lot of fun, trust me. Long time ago there was a young boy and a game that was one of his favorites. He got an old cartridge with over 999 games on it, but there was one, and the only one on the cartridge to be honest, that was called Contra. Blazing Chrome is a fantastic run and gun game inspired by Contra and a bit of Metal Slug maybe? To make a long story short, an AI-controlled army took over the world and humans survived by hiding underground. You are a member of a small rebel group that got out and your mission is to destroy a power plant. Pretty suicidal to be honest. You will fight hordes of robotic enemies, dash through apocalyptic environments, blast your way through enemy lines, and fight mechanical bosses using hoverbikes, huge armors and a lot of weapons. With local co-op, great classical graphical style, epic boss battles, smooth controls, and a genuine arcade feeling, you will love this game. This is one of the best, if not the best, titles to play if you want to experience Contra once again in a more modern style. Next on our list is yet another retro-inspired title. This is a run-and-gun arcade shooter where we fight the Meat, an iron revenuous mass mutating everything in its path. We play as Vadim and will fight back against this Meat, confronting mutated terrors, battling bosses and trying not to die. It's a very classic game with 3 difficulty settings, multi-phase boss battles and a great graphical style. You can also play in couch co-op mode and face the Meat invasion with your friends. There are various unlockables like skins and much more. This game looks great and will probably steal your heart if you played retro games before. This is actually once more a game that gives the good old Contra vibes, but it's not released yet. You can try the demo if you want and would like to see how it plays, so go ahead and try out. Now this game is something that immediately caught my attention. The graphical style in this game is amazing, and I know it is not comparable to other open-world RPG games where you can see beautiful landscapes and other stuff. This game is very unique and gives off vibes from good old RPG games. There was a game that I had forgotten, but when I saw this one it came back like a comet, and it was called Might and Magic 8. I remember playing that one as well as some old The Elder Scrolls games. Mechanically and gameplay wise it is more similar to Morrowind now, I guess. Anyways, this one is one of the best open world RPG games you can try if you are looking for something retro. This is a title where you can do what you want, whether it's completing quests or exploring paths. The world is destroyed and its surface is covered in an undead curse, while humanity lives in flying continents. There are lots of ways to develop your character, a rich world full of unique characters, creatures and challenges and much more. This is your classical early 2000s experience with some vibes from very old games like I mentioned before. This one you probably already know, and it is also a retro style inspired game. It's like GTA 1 or 2, but the thing is, it's not exactly a retro game, but it feels like one thanks to the graphical style, soundtrack and the time it is set in. The setting is an alternative 1989 Miami where a mysterious anti-hero goes on a murderous rampage against the shady underworld. Your job is to dash through buildings, rooms and hallways constantly outnumbered by vicious enemies and put in impossible situations. You have to do everything you can to get out alive and leave as few enemies as you can. This is your brutal, fast and arcade style game with a lot of violence and gore. If you like this type of gameplay, then I'm sure you will love it. Now, before we jump to number 1, here I prepared 5 another bonus games. And last but not least, the one and only Vampire Survivors. This game introduced a lot of people, including myself, to the genre of reverse bullet hell or bullet heaven games. I think there's not much to say about this game, as you probably already know it and probably played it. However, I thought it would be unfair not to mention this masterpiece and perhaps introduce it to those who are looking for something fairly fresh with very retro style graphics and mechanics. In Vampire Survivors, we play as one of many characters fighting hordes of monsters while trying to survive. We grow stronger with every level, while enemies increase in number with every passing second. With its very minimalistic but great graphical style, numerous achievements to collect and unlocks to obtain, Vampire Survivors is a game you should definitely try and let it suck you in. And that's everything that I prepared for you today. I wanted to make this video for some time now, and I finally managed to do it. There are lots of other great retro-inspired indie games that I would love to show you, and maybe there are some titles that you would recommend to others. If so, I would love to hear your suggestions in the comment section. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to stay updated and help me grow. It helps a lot. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.